Annyeonghaseyo. Welcome to Afternoona Uncensored. Unscripted, unedited, and uninterrupted. So let's get to it.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hi there. This is the most Afternoona Uncensored to ever uncensor.
Yeah, because we have like no preparation. So I feel like we've all been really busy. Which is okay, I guess. But yeah. I know.
We're also in the midst of like D-Day preparation, which is a lot.
So let's talk about that to start with, just before we get into anything K-drama related, and don't worry if you're at home, like, please God, no K-pop first. You know.
Whatever. It's
Yeah.
our show. It's our show.
And secondly, what's really exciting is that we are going to all see each other with human eyeballs next week, which is the first time that has happened in
probably like 5 years.
5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Megan, what if I just walk past you? I don't even recognize you anymore.
I know.
We're looking at each other right now, just so you all know. Leah's like on with the dad jokes lately. Like,
I really am.
Well, my thing is that like I'm very, very excited for the concert, and I'm like doing like sugar preparations and stuff. But I would say like you guys are like sugar to me. Like, I am so excited to see you guys. And also some of like our listeners that are going to be there. Like, to me, that is just so freaking exciting. And I just feel like I'm so excited about so much, you know, like it's not just the concert. I get to room with Amy. She gets to hear me snore. Amy, you should probably bring earplugs.
No. Do we have 2 separate beds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I've shared a bed before. I don't care about that stuff.
I do snore though, and I'll probably nap.
We were talking about, because you know, there's for the lovely people who live in the California Oakland area, there is a lovely spreadsheet for all the things you can do in the Oakland and San Francisco Bay Area if you're there for more than 36 hours, like Megan and myself. And I had messaged Megan and I said, I'm a little overwhelmed by the spreadsheet because I can't really do anything. And I just went to the D-Day concert in Chicago, and I'm still exhausted. Like, I'm an old lady going to concerts, and it's, you know, it takes a lot out of me. So basically I said, you know, Megan, are you going to want to do like sightseeing and stuff? I'm like, because I don't think I have it in me for like a day to like rush everything in. She's like, Amy, I'm going to order food to the room.
Yeah.
Eat it in the bed and take a nap.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? I'm 40. Like, I mean, like I said, I've been to, the only concerts I've been to recently are K-pop concerts. I've been to 2 ATEEZ concerts, and it's exhausting. I mean, it's physically, although those 2 times too, I was also traveling with my daughter, which is like a whole nother level of exhaustion to travel with like a 10-year-old. She was 9 at the time. But I mean, the concert itself is so tiring, and you're standing the whole time, you're screaming, you're waving your light stick. Like, it's like a lot. It's like a workout.
It is.
So I remember like when we went to the ATEEZ concert, we got there early, and my daughter and I booked our hotel room, and I got her food. Like, I don't know what I got her, and like a whole bunch of candy. And I was like, I'm going to nap. And she's like, okay. And she like sat on the couch in her room, like on her phone. And I legit fell asleep. And then I woke up like ready to go to the concert.
So yeah, you're going the first night. I'm going both nights. And essentially what it appears that I will be doing is going to the first night. And look, we're not going to belabor this today, but just to paint the picture.
Everybody say hi to Megan's train. Hi, train.
Oh,
hi, Choo.
There it is again.
And then I will be going out to lay down on the sidewalk. And
I can't believe you have that in you. Like, there were people in Chicago doing that for the next, because he did a Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And while we were in line to get in, when they were first opening the doors on Friday night, there were people in tents for the next day.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, there's a lot of feelings about people going early. I kind of am just like, look, the reality is that people are just going earlier and earlier. I have floor seats with sound check, and it's not that I need to be at the barricade for like some sort of clout. I actually have a more selfish reason than that. And that is that I get really I do. I get cranky over phones in my face. And when you're at these shows,
yeah, everybody's like
phones up and they hold their phones high. I don't want to watch this show through people's phones. And so therefore I'm just willing to, look, BTS isn't going to tour again for a minute. This is my ultimate show. Like, this is my ultimate artist.
I'm not judging you at all.
No.
I would do it. Yeah.
Pain, and I have to remind myself that at like 3 a.m. next Wednesday, when I am on a sidewalk in front of a warehouse in Oakland, this is all worth it. So I'll let you all know, but I have high hopes.
I just want you to be safe. That's all.
I feel like I will be. So we shall see, and we will revisit this all with like the aftermath. And we also are going to do some live recording of us together, because that will be really fun too.
Yes.
I can't wait. I can't wait for that. It's been a while too. Like, I just feel like the weather has been bad here, like, for a long time. Like, just mean rain, I should say. That's all. Like, it's worse other places. I just mean, like, there's been no sun for, like, it's actually sunny today, and I sat out on my deck, and I was like, oh my God, I'm getting vitamin D. Like, I really felt like, much more, like, renewed, because I was, like, finally getting, like, actual sun. And so that's another thing, too. Like, I just feel like, and I've been, like, writing a lot, and, like, so part of me, too, I just need to, like, I think I need, like, a break, and I need, like, a change in my schedule. And that's flying to Oakland for 2 days.
For 2 days. For 2 days. It's,
Oakland Arena and airport are not, like, we're not talking, like, there's not beauty here, but, there will be fun and friendship. And
yeah, that's what I'm there for.
The sun, you're going to be in foggy Bay Area, but that's okay.
No, I'm saying it's more like, I'm saying the part of the reason I've been in such a funk lately is just because I haven't had any sun. And it's more just like, I've been in a funk. I'm ready to, like, be out of it and, like, do something that's different. But the sun, like I said, the sun's out today. I took a walk and it's been beautiful.
Look at you. Did you put on outside pants for your walk?
I did put on outside pants for my walk. I think these have a hole in them, but
Where's the hole?
Right.
Well, this one is actually in, like, the lower leg, so it's all okay. Yeah, right. But yeah, I'm just so happy that the sun's out. So yeah, I'm excited. I like traveling on my own too, and I used to do it more before the pandemic, and so that's another thing. I'm just, because I have, like, layovers. It's going to be a journey coming from Pennsylvania, but it's fine. It's totally worth it, and I'm excited. So I'll be getting up Monday morning early, because I'm one of those people that needs to be at the airport at least 2 hours before like, boarding.
I usually do like 90 minutes.
Okay.
I usually do.
We know, Leah. We know. Like, zero surprise there.
And where's my phone and my ID?
Where's my phone? Where's my ID? I left my laptop. I've left my laptop on the plane so many times where I've had to, like, go running back, where I'm like, oh no, I've left it.
Do they let you go back?
Yeah, I've gotten it back twice now. And let me just say, this is an aside and then we'll get into it. I have magical AirPods. I don't want to brag, but I invested in AirPods at one point, maybe about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And I was like, I need to invest in myself. No more, knockoff janky things. I just want this one nice thing. And everyone was like, you will lose them immediately. And in my heart of hearts, I was like, yeah, I probably will.
Like, I'm Leah.
And so these AirPods I have lost at least 6 times. And I mean lost them. They have found their way back to me every single time, to the point where the most recent losing was, I went to Sacramento. I left them at my friend's house in Sacramento. My husband called me and said, hey, I found your AirPods in the bed. He was going to Hawaii for work. because we were like at a friend's house. And he's like, I'm just going to take them with me to Hawaii and I'll bring them back. And I was like, great. My magical AirPods came back. He called me in Hawaii at the airport and was like, please don't be mad at me. I can't find the AirPods. Like, I had them. I was listening to them. I don't have them anymore. And I was like, you know what? He's like, I've gone through everything. I'm like, they're going to find their way back to me. Just call the last hotel that you stayed at. And so he called me back and he's like, they had them and they're mailing them. And then they mailed them back to me. And they just keep coming back to me.
So they went from Sacramento to Hawaii.
That's amazing.
Back to Santa Cruz.
That's the most recent. It's like the sisterhood of the traveling ants.
That's amazing. I love it.
And I need them because I watch and now we're going to bring it back to K-drama. I watch K-dramas 99.999% on my phone. And I share a bed with my husband most nights. And so I have, so I put my AirPods in and then I watch it on my phone. And so if I don't have AirPods, that means I have to go to the couch. And so when the periods that I've lost my AirPods, I've had sometimes where there's like days that I'm just sleeping on the couch because I like watch shows and then I like get sleepy and I'm like, well, I'm just going to go to bed here. And so I'll just like be on the couch for days and days. And so, yeah, I mean, like it's an investment in my relationship. If, my husband enjoys me snoring in bed next to him. But yeah, having those AirPods really helps my K-drama watching. All that to say, what is everyone watching now out of curiosity?
I was actually just going to say that. I was like, yeah, why don't we talk about what we're watching now? So I've been actually wanting to talk about this on the pod because I don't think we'll ever cover it, but I've been watching Joseon Attorney Amorality, which is a historical drama about an attorney, which are two things that normally I would say no. I'm not into historicals, and I'm very rarely into like attorney dramas, unless they have like Anbo Hyun, so I watched Military Prosecutor Doberman. Lawless
Lawyer,
Lawless Lawyer. That's true. I guess I need another like shtick to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway. But it is Udo Wan's like comeback drama from his after he got discharged from the military, and you guys know I'm like obsessed with him, and he's just so good to me. Like I think he can do anything, and his role in this is catered perfectly. Like I truly believe that they built this drama around what they think like Udo Wan can do, because as much as I love Bona, who was in 2521, she was really great. She's like, I hate to say it, but she's like overshadowed by Udo Wan. It might change in like the later episodes, but he is just like carrying the show. He's just so charismatic. Also, remember our like young cop that always gets beat up and Young and Crazy, or Bad and Crazy. Yeah. He's also in this, but he plays like a completely different role. But anyway, Udo Wan is so good, and I like it. It's like kind of twisty. There's palace intrigue. There's like, political parties vying for power against the king, and then you have like Udo Wan, who's just this like crazy, like almost con man attorney in the middle of it, who's just like creating absolute chaos in Joseon, and that's just like. He's like silly, but he has obviously he like has scenes where he shows emotion as well as he does, and I'm really into it. Like I truly am. So that is ongoing. I think it should end in about 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm really eager to see how it ends, and then for his next role, in which he plays like a former boxer, which now that's
a Megan. Yeah,
that's
a Megan thing.
There's like one still that just shows him bloody, and I'm like, that's for me.
And we've all started Tale of the Nine-Tailed 1938. Yes. We're all doing that. So before we get to that, because I'm sure we'll have some things to say so we all kind of like just a couple days ago, we're like, holy shit, Tale of the Nine-Tailed dropped. the first 2 episodes, and we like totally forgot about it. So we've been talking about it coming, and then forgot to watch it. So we've all started watching it. But before that, and I will go back to it now that I'm caught up with Tale, is I've been watching Extraordinary You, which I brought up, I'm sure, before in the pod, because we've got our lovely soul backpack hero, Ijeok, and Rowoon. And initially, when I put this on our list of dramas to watch, I did it because of Rowoon, because I fell for him in Tomorrow, and I wanted to see more of him. And I will watch The King's Affection. It is on my list. Like, I will eventually get there. But right now, I'm really enjoying Extraordinary You, especially from a writing perspective, which is, what we're all about, because it is about the characters realize that they are characters in a comic and that they don't have full control of what they do and say because they're being written. But there are times, it's really cool, there are times where they figure out it's stage, and stage means like the scene is you right now, and so you are doing what the writer says. And then as soon as you're not in stage anymore, you have free will. So it's really kind of interesting, and they're trying to change their story. And there's a love triangle, and it's with Rowoon and Ijeok. So
oh no,
yeah, it's and he's such like, he starts out as just, Ijeok starts out as just an asshole, like very much Choi Young-do from Heirs, which I love. So yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's very, very different. It's very fun. And Amugi from the first Tale of the Nine-Tailed is in it as well. And he's a very enigmatic character, so I'm excited to see what his deal is. But yeah, I'm like 22 episodes in, and there's 32, so I'm getting towards the tail end.
How long are the episodes?
30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're halvesies, because they're probably split up, by like ads or something like that. So they're probably it's probably, it's 16, because I'd say the arc goes between 2 episodes, for each one.
Okay. And we are covering that on the pod, so we all will be watching that.
So I went on like a drunken BL bender.
Same.
And so we're going to be talking, Megan and I are going to be doing a pod actually on 2 of the ones that I've just watched. So I'm not going to get into those, but that was Eighth Sense and Jack of Frost. One was a Korean BL and one was a Japanese BL. But I do want to talk about one that I almost finished in one sitting last night. I have 1 episode, 2 episodes left, I think. And that is Our Dating Sim on Viki. Megan, have you seen this one?
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorites. It is so good.
It is really cute. So here's one thing that impresses me is the leads really haven't been in anything. Like, one has been in one other drama that's like listed on Asian Wiki, and the other hasn't been in anything. Mm-hmm. And they're awesome. They're really good actors. And so the premise of Our Dating Sim is essentially you've got 2 besties, and, it starts off with them like in high school. And it's like the very end of school, and they're like about to graduate, and one confesses feelings to his bestie. And I mean, it's a little overwrought, but essentially it doesn't go well. And could it be solved with some better communication? Yes. And they're teenagers in love. So 7 years have gone by and they have never spoken again. And now they're like, navigating the sole job market. And one has become kind of like a team leader in a startup gaming company. And he's like a programming whiz. And the company is doing like a dating themed game. And they post a job ad for an illustrator. And the old friend, gets recruited to work for the game. And maybe it's not such a coincidence as you get into the plot. Maybe one has realized that they missed their chance. And, there's some second chance at first love kind of stuff here. But it's just, they're very short episodes. The whole drama is short. I mean, like I said, I started it last night and I'm almost done. Like the Korean BLs, you just can like knock out in like a night, basically. And it's almost my complaint. It's almost too short because I enjoy it. And I feel like it could be more. Like, it's enough story and enough fun side characters. It could have been a bigger story, but look, if you want something that just feels sweet and fun, and there's angst, but it's not like heavy angst, you're just going to watch it and be happy, and then it's over. And so that's Our Dating Sim. And I don't know. Yeah, the BL has just been I've been off Thai BL right now, and I think that it's because Thai BL is kind of more over the top, OTT, and that's fine. But like you have to be in the mood for it a bit. And so the Japanese BLs are very kind of like reserved and repressed and like lots of longing. And I've really been in the mood for that. So that's like great. And then I feel like the Korean BLs seem to hit me in this like very like achy, sweet way. And so I've kind of been in the mood for that too. And so both of those have been kind of like where I've been for that. And then yeah, with some Tale of the Nine-Tailed starting. And then basically I just didn't want to invest in anything big because I also know I want to start Black Knight.
Oh gosh, yeah. That starts Friday, right?
Yeah. And so I just kind of have been like biding my time because I just want to like get through that. And so the Thai BLs I feel, or not Thai BLs, just BLs in general, I feel like are a good, not low investment because I don't want to denigrate them, but I just feel like, having just come off of Alchemy of Souls 30 episodes.
I know.
Like, it's fun to just like get through a couple of stories that like you just want like feels, angst, and kissing, and like I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly why I watch them sometimes. I watch them like between other dramas, and I don't want to say that they're filler because they're not. It's that it's when I like have the time to kind of like binge them because that's what I like to do. Like I like to just take it and binge it almost like a full night, and then I get that like happily ever after like dopamine like immediately, and I love that. Our dating sim was truly one of the best BLs I've ever seen. It was just, well, no, I would say K-drama, like romance K-drama.
It's on Viki?
Yeah.
It's on Viki.
Okay. I got to add that to my list because I just have zero time to watch between dramas, but I want to try to.
But that is super short and it's so sweet. Like, I remember I finished and I just like felt happy inside. I just felt like squishy because it was just a happy romance. Like I said, I almost don't even want to call it. It's just a great K-drama. It's a great short K-drama. I also watched another BL called Unintentional Love Story, and that was on like a different app. I forget now. I liked it. It wasn't as good as Our Dating Sim, but I did like it. And let's see. And then I've been watching some Japanese BLs because I watched like My Beautiful Man, which Leah would probably like just squeal over the angst in that one. I mean, it is a lot to handle. And like Jacko Frost. And I watched, based on Leah's rec, I watched Old Fashioned Cupcake and loved it. That was another one where I just kind of like felt happy inside when it was.
And the other thing I realized that with the Japanese BL, and maybe I just like am hallucinating this, but I don't think I am, is that the music there's not really music. And so it's like very quiet. And I realized, like, I'm used to, like, all the OSTs kind of, like, bouncing around. And I'm like, Japanese BLs are quiet, but it makes it more intense.
It does. Because there's, like, longing looks, and you're not being led by the music.
Silence.
Yeah.
And it hits differently.
It does. It does. But, yeah, I mean, that's what I've been doing, too, because I'm the same way. I'm, like... And that's another thing, too. I'm in the middle of watching Joseon Attorney, Tale of the Nine-Tailed, and I'm like ready. I want to be able to binge Black Knight, so I'm sort of the same way.
Because they're dropping all 6 at once, aren't they? I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure because it's Netflix.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think, like, I looked online. I'm pretty sure that it's all at once.
Yeah, and I'm like planning on avoiding all spoilers until I can watch it because
that's what's gonna be hard is that I can watch Friday night, and then I have guests coming. So it depends. Like if my husband wants to watch it with me, which I kind of would like him to, because it might be like one of the only dramas he would watch with me. Same. Then I might have to hit pause. Otherwise, then I guess that's just going to be like what I bring to the D-Day Sugar Week. Because I have like folks for the concert arriving as of Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I well, and that's another thing too. I'm like, well, I can watch them on the plane too.
Right. That's what I was thinking
if I don't, I'm probably going to download and finish. Because again, I'm traveling all day.
I know I keep saying this, but I am so excited for your first Kim Woo-bin experience.
I'm so excited too. I actually saw where he visited because in Black Knight he's like a delivery man, like for oxygen in this post-apocalyptic world or whatever, or supplies, whatever. But I guess like leading up to like promo for this, he like made a delivery to one of his best fans.
Oh my
to their
gosh.
house. Isn't that cool?
I would lose my mind.
And he's so tall. And I just feel like his face is just so sharp. Like, he's like dark eyebrows. He's just so recognizable.
Yes.
If he just showed up at my front door, I would...
Like, even if he had a mask on, you would know him from his eyebrows.
Yes!
That's not a bad thing, Kim Woo-bin. It's not.
And apparently, according to like some of like the little bit I read, is that his name I think is like 5'8" or something.
Yeah, they're all like numbers.
A numbered name, and yeah, he's a legendary delivery driver. Which again, I can't believe it's my thing, and it's my thing for this.
This is the thing, is that K-dramas, I always am like, that's not my thing. And sometimes I'm right. Like with my mister. Sometimes I'm right when things aren't my thing. But I'm often wrong. Like, I often think something is not my thing, and then K-dramas make me like it. Like, we had a discussion about amnesia plots in our Patreon the other day, and I was like, if you asked me like 2 years ago, do you like amnesia plots? I'd be like, no, I hate them. I think they're stupid. But like, K-drama
right?
has convinced me that I like amnesia plots. Like, why?
But not silly amnesia plots. Like, and I'm not gonna point out, because there's a very specific drama that I was like, well, that was fucking amnesia done right. And I know that you guys know it because you watch it, but I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. Mm-hmm. But like, it's the emotional, I think, aspect of it when it's done right. It's, we talked about it with more than one drama before. I'm trying not to spoil any dramas for any of you out there. Because I want to say some names, but I'm not gonna. But yeah, it made me want to write like an amnesia book.
Me too. I want to write an amnesia book real bad right now.
Yeah.
I did write an amnesia book. One of my based on my love of amnesia of K-dramas, I wrote amnesia in a book, and then I also wrote reincarnation in another book, just like inspired by K-dramas. Like, I'm not writing like a K-drama. Well, I mean, any plotline can be a K-drama plotline, but I mean, I am very, very inspired by K-dramas when I write. And I was like, Alchemy of Souls, massive inspiration for me. And Love Between Fairy and Devil, massively inspired by that one as well. I thought that was so cool. And yeah, like, but Reincarnation Man, I don't know. What else have you guys written or want to write?
I was going to say it's fated mates, right? Like, we talk about reincarnation and even amnesia, because if you've got amnesia with a love story and they find each other again, and obviously, one person doesn't have amnesia and one does, but like, it's that, like a soul calling to a soul or a heart calling to a heart. I freaking love that. Like, I think it's awesome. I'll tell you something that I have put in more than one book recently, and it is Blowing on a Wound.
Yes.
Way more than once, and I don't care. I will keep doing it. I keep finding reasons to do it. Putting on a Band-Aid, blowing on a wound. Yep, 100%. Totally have done it.
I think a thing that inspired me, and again, I feel like we're going to talk about this with like our BL podcast coming, but whatever, is the amnesia, but then instead of fated mates, doing more of like the second chance at first love. And I felt like that is I thought that was an interesting, I hadn't really seen that done as much. So when I think of the Go Back couple, where that was the K-drama, where it was the married couple, they had decided to divorce, and then they both kind of went back in time, retained their memories, and then like reconnected in college, kind of hating each other, being like, we need to pick a different path.
Yeah.
And they ended up, working through some things.
So good.
So good.
I like that, but then I was like, but like what's interesting was like you have the like, and so I love that second chance aspect, but what's interesting is if you layer an amnesia part to it, then you can have, not like in the time travel, but like, you've got the relationship that hasn't worked out, then you have amnesia, and then you can have like that, like, again, like instead of like, it's amnesia is still a fantasy plot, but like rather than going into like true like magical realism where they're going back in time, you can almost kind of like reset the clock in some ways narratively by having that amnesia plot kind of like wipe the slate clean and then let them like try to find each other again.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Tale of the Nine-Tailed since we're all watching it. And I think a lot of our listeners are watching it mainly because like we've hyped We liked it
Better
so
and
much.
worse.
And we still get comments. So first of all, we still get comments about our podcast for the first Tale of the Nine-Tailed, which was one of our early podcasts. Like, it truly was.
I think that's when the three of us really came into our own as far as our personalities in podcasting.
I think we just let it all out.
We did.
In the Tale of the Nine-Tailed podcast. We were just like, you know what? Like, Leah's drinking. She, like, opens a can on air. Like,
Which, can you hear a baby crying?
no.
Okay, good. It's not my baby, but
Okay, right.
Is your place haunted?
no, I work at a university, and there is a baby outside.
Oh, I can hear it now.
Oh, I just heard
Yep.
it.
And I just didn't want anyone to think listening that I was neglecting a baby. That is not my baby.
Oh.
It is an outside baby.
Yeah, no.
That is not my responsibility.
It is a child ghost of a Moogie. No. But I actually listened to that first podcast just the other day when I was like taking a walk outside. So I was like, you know what? I want to like reminisce a little bit. And honestly, it's hysterical. That podcast is very funny. And I was like reminded of all the things that I'd kind of like, I forgot about some of it. And I forgot about just how crazy the first one was.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
There were things that I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about. I almost forgot about the Amoogie eggs when everyone's coughing up the bloody Amoogie eggs, but then nothing happens with the eggs. Like how, and I forgot about the guy who like coughed up fur. Like all that crazy shit. I like forgot. I like blocked
And the
it out of my-
Chinese lantern plant where people just chill.
The guy
Yeah.
drinking the toilet to death.
Right.
Oh
drinking
my
the toilet to
gosh.
death.
Like, so here's the thing, and Megan and I were talking about this on Slack about the current Tale of the Nine-Tailed, is I think that the first one had no idea what it was doing. And finally because at first we thought we were watching like a horror drama when we first started it. We're like,
Yeah.
Megan's so on brand right now. She's rubbing on her kahi stick as we talk. But I think they finally realized what was working was just the craziness and the humor of it, like the camp, right? And so in part 2, they're just leaning into the camp and the humor, and that's all that it's been so far, and I hope that's all that it is for 16 episodes because I love it.
I don't want that.
Really? What do you want?
Okay, here.
What do you want?
Okay, let me.
Not to judge, but what do you want?
No. Okay, I will say what I want. So tell me what you want. What you really want is. Oh my god, I am dad joking it. I just can't stop the dad joke.
I want to really want to zig a zig.
So look, I think that it's a couple things. One is that. So, okay, when I talk about Black Knight and I'm excited about Black Knight, I think part of what I'm excited about is that, like, I think there's like an element of seriousness. So it's either going to be awesome and take itself seriously, or it's going to end up being like The Silent Sea, which took itself seriously, but in like a bad way.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't like camp. Like Cafe Minimdong was like too campy for me. And so like when we started Tale the Nine-Tailed 2, it starts off just like at like a high level of silly. And I was like, okay. Like, as much as I do love a dad joke, clearly, like, I'm not sure. Like, I was like, okay, this is funny. There's like, and I also appreciated it because I like when like Korea sticks in like some FU to like Japan and like the colonization era and stuff like that. So like, there was like, you know, we kind of start strong with that. And I was like, all right, good for you. Get some digs in. And then, you know, I was happy. Like, so I've only watched the first episode. And by the end of that, I was like, okay, this is silly. I don't mind it. But I also, like, I can't just do that. I mean, as much as I like Lee Dong-wook being in on the joke with us, I'm like, I don't want this to be a joke. Like, I don't want this to turn into Pirates with, like, Kong Han Newell.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that silly.
It's not that silly. Nothing's that silly. That is
Nothing's that silly.
That is truly the worst thing I've ever seen. That is the worst thing I've ever seen.
That is. It is.
I don't recall any sort of plot from that at all.
No, I literally hate. I couldn't hate it more.
Yeah. So this is the thing. Episode 2 is just more of episode 1. More of just these like So this is what I said to Amy, is that, or I said in Slack, it's that it feels like we're just in a video game and Lee Yun is just doing a bunch of side quests.
Yeah, and that's what I don't want to just do side quests for 16 episodes. I need
There is a frame story. There is a frame story.
There is. I mean, it's tenuous, but it's there. and here's the thing, is that at the very, very end of episode 2, we do get a hint of like some deeper things, some relationships, some emotions. And the previews for like the next episodes are starting to show that there's going to be more like interpersonal conflicts.
Here's my point, is that I'm not trying to rain on like the silly parade. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here. I'm not trying to say make it my mister.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is that like what made Tail the Nine-Tailed good for me, even though it was objectively kind of bad, was the characters and like the fact the plot really was like, it was funny how bad it got, and sometimes I wasn't sure what was intentional, what was not. But like the Rang brothers relationship, I always felt, and like
and it is back in full force. It really is.
Yeah, and so I think like the interpersonal play between them, but also the side characters, like, the vet and like the other Gumios, like I liked the characters. And so I want to see them not just side questing it. Like, I'm like, these are, Megan and I have a podcast that we're going to put out that's like on like internal versus external plots. And so I'm fine if there's not like a huge amount of internal conflict happening here and we're going to do more external. But like what makes the show good is the characters being really enjoyable.
And they are. Yeah. They still are.
Yeah, they are. And I agree. I mean, I think it's going to settle down a little bit. I truly do. I could be wrong. We'll see, because these writers, I don't know, man. Are they
the same writers?
Yes. And this is all they've done.
So I think, I truly think they hit super hard for episodes 1 and 2. But I could be wrong. This airs, by the time this episode airs, we're going to have some more episodes. So, like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys are going to be like, well, you're listening to this like, Megan, it did not calm down. And it maybe it didn't. And I still don't care. I mean, for some reason, I feel like I'm getting more like Indiana Jones vibes.
Yeah, I could see that.
But Indiana Jones has a plot.
It does. No. I'm talking like the character-wise. He's like always exasperated. And he's like, and he has like these like, quests and these like things he has to do. And
right.
So, I mean, I don't know. I will say one thing. And again, we can talk about episodes 1 and 2. There's nothing to spoil. You will not, like, we can just, if you haven't seen it yet, I'm not spoiling anything for you. But there's this one character who, when Eun is defeating him, and that whole storyline was crazy.
You talking about the turtle?
Yeah. So, but his like neck starts scaling, and I literally shouted out loud, "A Moogie!" I totally thought it was gonna be a Moogie, and I was like so excited, and it's not. It's just some like turtle god. But I was so hoping. Which that whole scene was crazy. How he like turns into a turtle, and he's got this like leatherback shell. I'm like, what? With his like hanbok? Like, what is happening?
Because they're saying a turtle nursery rhyme to him.
Right. I mean, sure. It's so ridiculous. But I love the humor. Like Eun from the present day meets Eun from like the time period when he's just like in an opium den, like wallowing over his like lost love and his territory that had been burned, and he's just a mess. And like them meeting was fantastic.
I loved it.
Peak comedy, truly. And
the train.
I love
the train.
Yeah, the train in episode 2, again, wild. I'm still not, like, the reason they had to be on that train in the first place...
There was no reason.
I forgot about
it. The flute was on the train.
But,
yeah.
I forgot about it. By the end, I was like, why were they even on that train? Like, it doesn't matter. It truly doesn't. I will say it's funny. I always, like, this part of time travel plots always amuse me, but I love how Eun keeps yelling at people to stop smoking because he's like, it's bad for you. And of course, like in 1938, no one like knows that it's like bad for you to smoke, or at least no one cares. At least I don't think they knew back in 1938. And so he keeps yelling at everyone to stop smoking because it's not healthy. And everyone's like staring at him like, who are you? And what are you talking about? Like, he just looks crazy. And I love that.
It's it can't be fun right now, but I do see, especially in like the previews for the next episode, like there is like the supposed, baddie. Like we don't know what his reason was for stealing the stone and jumping through the door, and that's who Ian chases back in time. He's not being funny. So there is some like seriousness there.
Correct. He's not funny at all. And
do you recognize him?
So it's driving me crazy. He looks familiar, but I don't know what I know him from.
Itaewon Class. Head shaved.
Shut up.
Yeah, he's one of the little restaurant dudes.
Oh my god.
He's one of Park Seo-yee's restaurant dudes.
That's where I
have to look. Man. As soon as I see someone, I'm like, I know your face. Like, I know your face. What have I seen you in before?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I mean,
for me, here's what I am glad about, and this is what I'm going to stick with, is I am not going to procrastinate on it. I am going to stick with it as it comes out, because I do not feel like this drama will work for me as well if I binge it. I think I need to watch it in like,
you don't want a minimum dong experience.
I do not want a minimum dong where I'm just like, if it just goes like to like full camp, I'm just gonna.
I don't think it's as silly as minimum dong was at all. I don't, but I think
look, I like it. And here's the thing: is Lee Dong-wook. I'm never gonna not like Lee Dong-wook being. There's something that does break the fourth wall with him when he is in this role.
Yes.
And I appreciate it because he is in on the joke. And that's not to say that he acts like that all the time. Like Strangers from Hell, Touch Your Heart, and Goblin.
Yeah.
Like he fully is committed to the role. But in this, I do feel like there's a little bit of a wink and nod to the audience. And I don't mind it. I really don't.
I even said that when we were talking about it, is that I feel like they're in on the joke. I'm in on the joke. We're all just like having a good time together. Like that's what it felt like to me.
Kim Bum.
But I also
I want to shout out Kim Bum because Lee Dong-wook is so good. Like really, he is a movie star. He is good.
He's fantastic.
But Kim Bum holds his own.
He does. He
which
does.
Shows how good he is.
And he gets a makeover in episode 2. So,
the makeover. In episode 2, he gets an undercut.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. It is great. I mean, they show him.
God damn it! How old is he again?
He's over 30. He's at least over 30.
Is he?
33. All right.
Oh,
I'm in a 10-year spit and distance. It's fine.
I didn't realize he was actually 33. Yeah. But he looks so good in this undercut. And this is another thing too, like the drama leans hard into how good looking these guys are, and I like it.
Yes.
Like it's funny,
yeah.
Like don't act like he's a normal looking human, because he's not. He's a fox, but like don't act like he's normal looking. Don't act like either of them are normal looking.
Yeah, they don't, and it's fun. It's super fun.
So I mean, I would say the same thing though. I was kind of okay with watching 2 episodes, and because I watched them both back to back. And I was okay with it. I was like, I didn't need to like binge it either. I feel like
no, but if there was a third, I would have started it. Like I'm truly enjoying it. I am.
Yeah, I think that lately I'm enjoying watching like currently airing dramas, and I never thought I would. So sometimes I think it's just like my mood or something.
Because there's less pressure. I feel like. Right? If you don't have to binge it, if you can't binge it. Like I do love when I love something so much and I can't stop watching it, which is what Alchemy of Souls was for me, and I enjoyed every second that I, gave of my life to those 30 episodes. But I also wasn't on like a time crunch to get it done for the pod, and I wasn't up until, like 1:32 in the morning like Leah was. And like that gets to be like, pressure sometimes. So yeah, I think I enjoy when there isn't like, with Black Knight dropping on Friday and all 6 episodes, I feel the pressure to watch all 6 because I don't want anything spoiled for me.
Mm-hmm. Black Knight is going to be, I think I might try to watch like 3 episodes on Friday. I don't know. I guess we'll see. By the time this pod comes out, it'll already be out.
Right. I may or may not have to save it for the plane. We'll see.
It better be good. If it's a Silent C situation, I think I tweeted something like that. If it's a Silent C situation, I'm just giving up.
So Silent C was a water situation. This is an oxygen situation. So we've already got a parallel going on here. I hope that's the only parallel.
Silent C was a water sign. Black Knight is an air sign.
Hope. I have hope.
Yeah. I had hope in Gong Yu, and look what happened. So, but I don't know. I think it looks good. If it's totally Mad Max-ish. I mean, he's like racing across dirt in these.
Right. It's very Mad Max.
Like Furiosa style. So tell me what you're writing now.
So I was actually writing 2 books at a time, and I took a break from one, thankfully, got an extension, and I'm just working on a small town romance it's actually between 2 teachers. They weren't meant to be teachers. So the hero in this book is my Ted Lasso hero.
Aww.
And he, for reasons, he was a college football coach, but for reasons lost his job and has come back to his whole hometown, like basically with his tail between his legs, getting a job at his former high school as a soccer coach.
Oh, cool.
Because the football position is taken by somebody else. And then the heroine is a first grade teacher who, for reasons, quit her job in Chicago and has run away to this small town. So yeah, they're both connected to the hero and heroine from the book before. So it's a whole thing. But yeah,
that's cute.
It's cute. It's fun. But I do what I do, and I mean, tell me if you do this. I do what I do with every book, where I'm like, I am going to stay on track with my daily word count.
Oh.
And I'm never going to get to the point where I have to write 2,000 words a day for the last 3 weeks of the book. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? The book is due June 1st, and what do I have to do? I have to write 1,800 words a day until the book is due. Yeah. I'm enjoying writing the book, but to finish it, I have to pants my ass off. I'm pantsing, too. I didn't used to pants, and I've been a pantser lately, and I've been enjoying it.
Yeah. Well, if you need any soccer stuff, you know where to find me.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you need any help. I am... This is the thing with me, is pushing back deadlines for me almost doesn't make a difference because I'm always going to procrastinate anyway. So I just have to stick to the deadline. If it means writing 5,000 words, staying up late and writing 5,000 words in a day, then that's what I do. Because I'm ridiculous. It doesn't matter when the deadline is.
Right.
I'm always going to butt up writing instead of late. So I have
for every single book I have. Except for my very first one, because I wrote that before I sold it to a publisher.
So I have a novella due. I'm writing it all this week. I basically started it Monday. I'll finish it Friday, which means I have to write 3,000 words a day, which again, that's what I do. So it's fine. But and this is not this. I think when a writer says like they're not super enjoying what they're writing, that doesn't always mean. I don't know.
So I saw a sign that kind of like sums this up. So the writers guild is on strike right now.
Yes. And
somebody had a sign that was like, "Look, I cannot write I can do not writing forever." I was like, oh my God, yes, I feel it so much. They're like, yeah, try me. I can not write forever. It's like that type of
it's still work. And
yes.
Yes, I do this because it's still work. And I'm also I'm cranking out books. I'm not writing a book on my heart every time I write. Very few people who write romance are just writing out the who consistently write.
It still sucks.
It still sucks. It's still hard to write. And so the book I'm writing right now, I am struggling so hard. And I'm not, and God, I hope no one that is involved in this project ever listens, but it's not their fault. Basically, I signed up for this kind of group project. Let's just say it that way. I did not do my proper research to actually know what was involved in doing this group project. So I am basically writing a novella that I probably would never have agreed to write. And it's my fault. It's no one's fault. The organizers are doing a fantastic job. It's my fault. I basically did not read the fine print or whatever. Not the I'm saying
I know what you mean.
with air quotes.
Yeah.
And so it's like a struggle. And my husband thinks it's hysterical what I'm writing. And I'm glad that I'm amusing him because he's like, well, my job's stressful, so I'd rather hear about what you have to do. And I was like, well, I'm struggling. Like I'm on this, it's just the struggle bus this week. But you know what? This is the thing. I have to finish it before I leave for the Suga concert, mainly because it has to be uploaded. You know, it has to be uploaded before I leave. Like, absolutely has to be. So that's kind of the thing is I'm just like, well, that's it. Like, I just have to get it done. And if that means staying up Sunday night, I will stay up Sunday night. But it's getting done. So I guess that's the good thing is that I know by next Monday, when I'm at EWI, it'll be done.
How many times do I think like that where I'm like, life is going to suck for the next 3 weeks, but then it's going to be great for like a day before I have to jump into the next project. That's the thing with romance. Like no matter what realm you're publishing in romance, there's so much competition because there's so much out there, right? It's a very saturated genre. And then there's so many different categories within the genre that you have to churn out books. You have to keep like, it's not, if I could write a book a year, that'd be fantastic. Very few people do that. Nobody's going to pay me enough to write just one book a year. Yeah, I mean, they don't pay me enough to write 3 books a year, so it's, you know. But it is, as much as I love it and I'm grateful that I get to do it, it is a job. And it is a job on top of everything else that you do in your life. Like whether you have a day job or not, it is a huge time commitment to write a book. It is. Mm-hmm. And yeah, even if it is the book of your heart, when it's work, when it's something that you have to do, it sort of changes the whole trajectory of it. And I know you're supposed to use, more positive language and say, I get to do this. I learned that in
our best selves.
I learned that, right? Yeah. But yes, I get to do it and I'm thrilled that I get to do it. I just wish that I got to do it at a different pace.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is my pace is like self-inflicted.
Yeah, like, so is mine. I mean, so is mine. I mean, I'll say, yeah, I can do it and I can do it, but then I never stick to my schedule.
Yeah. Wait, speaking of manifesting, did you hear that there was like this like eagle who was like in a zoo and he was like sitting on this rock and he was like, it's my egg. Like clearly he like thought it was his egg and the zookeepers are like, oh my God, it's a rock. Like, but he wouldn't let anyone take it out. And then all of a sudden this like baby eagle like appeared in the enclosure.
He didn't hatch a rock.
Well, no, he didn't hatch a rock, but he like clearly manifested. He manifested a baby, and he got a baby. So that's
so an eagle. I'm gonna look this up while you keep talking. I need to see the eagle manifesting an eagle.
He manifested like a baby, like eagle. So now he manifested being a dad, and like. Good for him. So it was like really inspiring.
Oh my God, please stop talking. What are you talking about?
You're not inspired by an eagle manifesting a baby.
I am not seeing anything. I Googled eagle manifesting an eagle.
Wait.
Nothing came up.
Eagle and eaglet in zoo. I don't know what zoo it was. God, I'm going to find it.
She's making this up.
People are listening right now like, did she just say she finds it inspiring that an eagle manifested an like this isn't real.
I gotta find it.
Oh my God. Okay, eagle and eaglet go viral. Okay, hang on.
Eagle.
There's gonna be okay, look, a 31-year-old. Okay, here we go.
Here it is.
Leah has it. Let her read it.
Okay.
First captured the hearts of the nation, the disabled bird went viral for sitting on a rock he thought was an egg. He can't fly because he has a permanent wing injury. The keeper saw he built an extremely simple nest on the ground and was incubating a rock. Mm-hmm. The sanctuary rather passive-aggressively wrote on Facebook, "We wish Murphy all the luck in the world, but we're not telling him the reality of the situation. We have yet to see a rock hatch." I mean, a little harsh sanctuary.
Yeah. Okay.
So here we go. Murphy, they thought he would get bored of the rock, but he got more committed to the rock. So by the end of April, things had reached a, quote, boiling point, where he was starting to stress out the other bald eagle occupants in his fervor to protect the thing. So here is what happens, Megan.
He manifested. Who cares how it happened? He manifested. He cared so much that rock that they gave him a baby.
Bald Eagle 23126 arrived with a fractured wing after its nest was blown down in a storm, and it desperately needed a foster parent. So,
how is that not manifesting?
Okay, but it didn't get blown into the enclosure, right?
They woke up one day and they were like, "Oh my god, this rat! Like, we don't know what happened, but here's a baby."
Okay, fine, but he still manifested that. You can't tell me he did it.
According to him, he manifested a baby. Like, he wanted a baby, he got a baby. I see where you're going with this.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, look, there is a correlation. I just think that the way that it was first presented was a little fantastical.
Okay.
He still manifested a baby eagle. I don't know if
he did it.
Right, how the baby came about does not have to be like magical. I get it.
It's like a freaking like Babe or something, like a movie, and they come out and there's just like.
But I want to know how you're inspired, Megan. Because what are you gonna sit on?
Well, I'm inspired that when you want something real bad, the universe will give it to you.
I'm gonna sit on my laptop, and then a full manuscript, completed manuscript is just gonna drop out of the sky. Just gonna drop out of the sky. That's what I'm hoping for.
Please have Neil take a picture of you doing this for our Insta.
Something I do want to touch on briefly, and I'm going to try to figure out how to bring this back to K-drama.
I'm sorry.
That's about books, and Amy, I haven't talked to you about this, like, with you, seeing your face. So Amy and I wrote a book a few years ago.
Oh, yes.
That was the shit. Like, really did. And it was, it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. And I have been reading it.
Megan read this.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you're not. You didn't. I thought you were the one who did.
I read the. What was the other one?
You read some of our like idea.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And I read that very first.
Amy and I often sometimes like we'll just plot something very quickly together that becomes very passionate. So this book, though, I will say, it is not good.
It's not. It's really not.
Oh no, the voice is objectively bad.
It's over the top. It's
it reminds me of when I wrote my first historical a little bit. And I felt like if I was like a little kid playing house with you and we were like, okay.
Trying to talk like grown-ups.
Yes. Like, let us go, sister, into the forest and pick the berries together.
Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no.
It's got a vibe like that.
It's got a vibe.
So here's the thing, though, is that I was like, okay, now I do want to take it apart and basically be like, okay, how can I just take that idea there's some flaws to the idea, but like, how can I take that and now like put it into like a real voice? Because I think there is a story there that could work. It just the voice needs to just be like not so try hard.
Is it a dark romance at all? Like, is there like bondage or BDSM?
Oh, there could be. And I have directions I would like to take it that I have pitched Amy to that she's reflecting on.
I feel like, I mean, put it under a pen name, but I feel like if you made this into a dark romance and gave it like a really flashy cover, it would kill. I'm just saying.
I feel like there's some real potential here, but we can't get into it in Uncensored, and I don't want to. I've already been giving Amy some directions we could potentially spin it to, and she's reflecting on it. But
I would read it, just so you know, I would read it anytime.
But the good news, so it was like a good
We had some good ideas. Like we were talking,
The good news is I think there's some core ideas that are good and the story is salvageable. The bad news is it is disappointing to see that we did not quite realize how badly we'd written it. But with years of hindsight now, like it's been like 4 years.
Yes.
I see it now and I'm like, okay. Like I can,
and you guys are great writers.
And I can see how to fix it all. Like it's all super fixable.
But we wrote it in a fever dream because we were like, it was whenever Beauty and the Beast live action, whenever that movie came out is when we wrote this. And we were like, we have to get this published immediately because everybody's going to want to be writing Gaston as the anti-hero.
We did think that. And here's the problem is that when I am trying too hard, I turn into a pretentious asshole.
And so you just went
part of the problem. It wasn't just me, but I definitely was like, oh, this reminds me of my first historical. And so I think about that too with like, right, like, which is again, a good idea and was a freaking try hard, like the tone is so try hard.
Right.
So, so yeah, just given writers a little bit of a, even when I'm like critiquing people, sometimes I want to be like, you know what? There are times where I've been like, this is awesome. And then like, I've been like, holy shit. I was like completely up my own ass.
Hindsight.
So tying it back to Tail the Nine-Tailed, like I get it, fam. Like, sometimes, you're like, I'm smashed in goals.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to, like, I've written stuff where I'm like, oh my God, I took myself so seriously. And it's, like, not fun for anyone. Because I agree. I have written stuff, too, where I feel like there's, like, almost a pretentious tone in it. And then what I'm writing right now, apparently, like, I am inspired by Tail the Nine-Tailed. I mean, let me just straight up tell you, the title of what I'm writing right now is called Melting the Frost Troll.
I was just chilling online. I was just chilling, living my life. And all of a sudden I was like, what the fuck is this cover? And then I was like, that's Megan. That's Megan's name, Ella Maven. And there's
I saw it.
Wearing what I would believe to be albino Bigfoot.
I was going to say it looked like a Sasquatch.
There's an albino Bigfoot. Because I was looking and I was like, what is this? And then I was like, oh, I know who this person is. And then I read the cover and I was like, look, I don't know what this is, but like fucking awesome because
guys, so here's the thing. Again, I had to write within certain rules because this world already exists, which I didn't know that. And so I'm writing this in like modern times, which is also weird to like throw this like troll into like modern times when there's like cell phones. And I'm really struggling, but basically like he's guarding a bridge because he's a troll. And when she tries to cross the bridge, he ties her up under it. I mean, and then makes her chicken noodle soup. Why? Because I was hungry for chicken noodle soup at the time. Like, I'm going full Tail the Nine-Tailed at this point because I don't want to. How can you take this serious? How can you, like, any reader isn't reading this and taking it super seriously.
Here's the challenge that I'm going to put forth to you if you have not finished.
I have not finished.
An eagle with a broken wing needs to make a presentation under the bridge, sitting on
a rock.
And the happy ending is going to be it manifests a fucking little like troll eaglet baby.
Oh my God.
Okay, I
might do it. I might do it.
I have a cowboy series that has an animal rescue on it. If you don't do it, I'm taking your eagle.
Well, we can both do eagles. No one's going to know. I don't think our readers cross over.
You can start putting in manifesting eagles into every story.
Oh my gosh.
And
just
we'll wait to see people to connect the dots.
Like as like a full character, like we've got the eagle on a rock, like manifesting a baby, or just like a mention of an eagle from here on out.
Also, one of the reasons he falls in love with her is because she's an interior designer and she basically like fixes up his like hovel.
Yeah, I can't make it. It's making me. I can't do it. I celebrate you and I celebrate the cover. The cover is, ladies and gentlemen, you just need to understand. Please look it up. And I'm not trying to give Megan shade because it gave me such pause that I was impressed. Because I saw it and I was like, oh my God, this is funny. I should send it to someone. Oh wait, this is very
it's
the
my
person
friend.
I would send it to it's their own.
I know. This is one of those where someone was like, will you be a part of my group project? And I said, sure.
And then you have no control over anything.
And I have no control. I am just regretting all my life decisions that came to this moment. And you know what? It's okay.
In BTS life, like sometimes I'll see the members talking and they'll act like they don't know something about another member. And I'm like, no, there's no way you wouldn't know like that so-and-so did X or this song or whatever. And now I'm like, look, benefit of the doubt, because I had no idea Megan was doing albino Sasquatch under a bridge love story. Like, it just wasn't even like on my radar that this was happening. And like I said, I was just on social media like 2 or 3 nights ago, like boop, boop, boop. That's really fucking weird. Oh, it's Megan.
I love that it came up and you're like, holy crap, I gotta send this to Megan. And then you're like, holy shit, it's Megan.
Whereas I saw it on Facebook and I didn't say anything because I'm like, I this is her cover until like, then you were like, I am not loving this cover. And
then you're like, okay,
I was like, oh, thank God.
I want to do a giveaway. Can we get this paper so we can give this away to people? Because it is a classic.
Well, someone's like, I had a reader who's like, will this be in paperback? And I was like, no.
I want a poster. I need a poster for my wall.
It's not public, is it? It was just on Facebook because I'm trying to find it and I can't see it.
Well, it's public on like my profile.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to right now because I want to see it again.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I got going on.
Well, okay. So on that note, I guess,
Yeah.
how are we going to, like, let's, our final thought here, because I got to call it.
And she's wearing a leopard coat. Like why? Why is she wearing a leopard coat? Stop, put it away.
I, too, want to be tied up under a bridge.
And he has a club.
It's like The Witcher, but with hair all over.
I want club penetration. Where she's like, no, that side's too big, and he flips it around to like the handheld side.
She's like, use the handle.
Yeah, use the handle. I can take the handle.
Oh my God, stop.
He's like, good, because I just clubbed an eagle with the other side.
It's broken its wing, and now it's over there nesting on a rock. I hope that this is something Studio Dragon can be listening to.
Yeah.
That they are going to come, and you have now manifested yourself a job writing K-drama, because they're going to be like, you're talking about I mean, like, look, honestly, it would not shock me if somebody was to say, look, there's a K-drama coming. There is a troll under a bridge. And he's taking this like lady, and they're just like under the bridge doing something.
This is the best.
That's what she decorates under the bridge for him.
He's decorating it.
She decorates his like little
the
hovel.
trash that's like floating in the river.
Listen, because he gets supplies from the main town, so he has a little like camp stove, so he can like,
Where's he
get
getting
his gas.
supplies? Like he trolls into town.
Well, there's other monsters that deliver his.
How does he fit under the bridge? He's huge.
It's a big bridge. It's like a really deep ravine.
Do people know that he's down there?
Yeah, it's his job to guard the bridge.
But like the town knows, like humans.
Yeah, they know it's his duty, and he takes it very seriously. If you step foot on his bridge, he knows, and he comes
So no
and
one's
yells
allowed
at
to
you.
be on the bridge?
No one's allowed to be on the bridge.
Why is it there?
No humans.
So like when they're having sexy troll time, is so you like, shit, someone's up on the bridge. I gotta like flip it.
Yeah, he's like, shit, gotta go club some people. There's not a whole lot of logic.
You know,
I feel like we should do a reading.
No.
Yeah, we do. We need to do
Wait, you want to know a line I wrote today? Let me just tell you this. I texted it to Neil. This is the hero talking. Okay, so the heroine's name is Scarlet. And he actually says, at bare minimum, Scarlet deserves a human companion. Like, the bar is low. Like, he's like, at least she should have a human.
That was the troll's voice?
Yes.
At bare minimum.
At bare minimum? Like, a bare minimum.
Well, he used to be human. He used to be human, but he drank a potion at a party
I
that
gotta
turned him.
go. Okay, I gotta go. Jesus Christ.
I didn't write that part. That was given to me.
Okay, I celebrate it.
Troll potion. Okay.
Okay, well, thank you so much for this. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Mm-hmm. I cannot wait.
And
I'm very
I
excited.
will hug you guys. Yay!
I'll hug both of you.
Yay. Okay.
Yay, hugs.
All right, thanks for listening,
And we're gonna
everyone.
do some reading on the troll.
No, we're not.
I think we need to do a live reading on the pod.
No,
Yeah, we need to
no,
like
we're
pick
not.
just a random page.
Yeah, in our Patreon, we will do a homage.
A dramatic reading. Oh my gosh, Leah and I will both just grab a random page and do a dramatic.
Okay.
You have to
Do the voice.
It's like got a Muppet voice at bare minimum.
Please take the handle and stick it.
Stop it. Stop with the handle.
Your pussy.
Oh my. All right, we gotta go. Annyeong.
Kamsahamnida. Thank you for listening to Afternoona Delight. Where can you find us outside the pod? Head on over to afternoonadelight.com. That's AFTERNOONADELIGHT.com. You'll find links to all our social media, our book recs, K-pop and K-skincare recs, and if you want even more Afternoona Delight, because really who doesn't, you can join our Patreon, where you can choose the patron level that's right for you. Join in daily K-drama conversations, listen to bonus podcast episodes just for patrons, and participate in our monthly live K-drama support group via Zoom. We can't wait for you to be a part of the community. Until next time, annyeong!